Good evening, everybody. It's Rebecca from Living with Spice. Thank you very much for joining me for your weekly reading as of the 29th of October through to the 4th of November. I hope you are enjoying the weekly reads so far and that they are useful to you. And if they are, I would really appreciate it if you would like the video and even subscribe. That way you are helping me and you're letting me know that this is useful to you. All right, we are going to do the reading for the week, so let's get started. Oh, by the way, I also do personal readings. So if this has come up for you and you are interested in having a personal reading specific to you, please contact me. My details are in my bio, so I can do it face-to-face or I can do it via Skype. So the readings that I give each week are general on YouTube, but if you want a personal reading, please contact me. I'll be very happy to do that for you. Okay, let's get started. I have pre-shuffled the cards for the week, but we will briefly shuffle them again. And I'm going to use several decks. We just invite the divine to come in and give us the guidance that we need for this week's message. So as things pop out, I will place them down and then we'll do a reading based on that. So the first card has popped out, so I'll just pop that there. And that actually came up midweek. I did a card reading midweek, and that's the exact same card that came up. So interesting that that should pop out. So two more cards, please, for the reading for this week. Can't speak properly. There we go. Two more cards, please. A message for this week. That one wants to keep coming out. One more card. And we will get to... Woo! Too many cards. Let's go. One more card, please. A reading, a message for this week. Some guidance for us. Thank you. Having some trouble coming out today. One more card. Thank you. Here we go. There it is. Okay. Right, we have... Oh, interesting. Okay. The very first card that we have that's popped out came up during the week called regeneration. We're very much in a time of rebirth at the moment. Really very strong energy, but very positive energy. It's very much about letting go and moving on from past. And this has been happening over the past few weeks. And now it's sort of crunch point. This is very much no denying the change that's happening. And it's not just an emotional change, it's actually a physical change. A physical change in our circumstances. It may be that a relationship has come to an end or a job situation, a project has finalised, something has definitely ended. But it's not just about the focus on the endings, it's actually the experience of being reborn, like really growing in your soul power and your energy and really coming to this very deep, clear understanding of who you are and what is important in your life and the next steps of where you're going. So, I mean, the card itself is depicting very strong energy. It's sort of like the molten lava here, things sort of really building up to a crescendo here, and you know, this beautiful blue-green tree coming out of something very fiery that's obviously bearing a very difficult time in our life, difficult circumstances, but from the challenges and the struggles, there's been amazing rebirth. Good, beautiful green leaves on the tree here, illustrating new life, new clarity, new understanding, new awareness on a really big scale. Like it's this really big aha moment of self-awareness. And there's beautiful, I would like to say, divine light and wisdom and understanding coming down here from the heavens. You know, it's gorgeous, sparkling light of, aha moments, a real sudden awareness. So there's no denying that. So let's have a look what the book can add to that message for us. Beautiful. The emphasis really is on rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Things that you thought may have been dead and gone, finished and done, are being revived in a more authentic and stronger form. Whatever you thought may have been a failure or a loss is actually now being replaced by something even better and more powerful in its place. This rebirth is reassured, there's no denying it. So we're being encouraged to step into that new life with confidence. Your destiny is actually being fulfilled in beautiful ways right now. In terms of relationships, whatever has happened in the past, whatever appears to have fallen away, is never really lost. So what we think are endings, they're not real. They're actually moments of awareness and rebirth and regeneration. There's a real sense of life force energy that's busting through after what feels like a loss. You know, a little bit like the Australian bush, where everything appears to be completely burnt to a cinder, but somehow it bursts open the seed pods of various beautiful native plants and trees, and new life just comes forth from what appears to be a charcoal mess. This is what's going on in your life. What appears to have been a charcoal mess, dead and gone, has actually seeded new life for you. New opportunities, second chances, because of the soul lessons that you've had, the soul growth, the personal awareness, those deep aha moments that only you can know, have helped you to realize your skills, your abilities, your strengths, what is real and what isn't real. It's given you incredible clarity. Love is rising up to greet you. Love in many forms. Love in terms of self-love and awareness. Love in terms of the universe giving back to you after a long period of challenges. New opportunities and doors opening for you. When things haven't worked out and we have felt the heavy weight of what feels like failure, it's such an amazing time when we have the aha moments and ask ourselves the question, what has been the beauty and the lesson of it all? What understandings have we now realized from all of those difficulties? This is the chance to stand up, to rise out of the ashes, as it were, and be even a more powerful version of yourself. It's happening. It's not an if, but, or a maybe. It is actually happening. There are new opportunities coming that are even better than what you imagined. And with that comes abundance. Abundance in your life, abundance in your thinking, your emotional well-being, and even in your material world. So to embrace those the rebirth, the new opportunities, let go. Release what you've been hanging on to. See the beauty in what is happening right now. And don't be afraid to face the truth. Don't be afraid to face the facts, because there is no need to struggle anymore. Well, I've had a bit of an interruption. Let's call it a technical difficulty. Um, I was having some coughing fits and I had to stop the video. And then I lost some of the video of the card reading. So we were getting into the regeneration card. And then we moved on to the next card called To Be Fair. So I'm just going to sort of redo this section of the video, and I apologise. This card here is really talking about the need for balance, being aware of balance in our life this week. You can see that this Queen is holding the scales. And so it really does point to the fact that in life we're going to experience the ups and downs. We're going to experience the contrasts in life, and that's just what life is all about. But as the pendulum swings, it's important to recognise that, we're going to experience the tough times and then we're going to experience the good times. And the reason why this card has come in to your reading this week is that there's an acknowledgement that you've had a lot of tough times and that you are now about to experience the pendulum swinging back to balance again to reward you. Sort of like that sense of justice, that the wonderful seeds that you have sown in all of that, all those difficult times, you are now going to reap the rewards. And how amazing is that? Balance is coming back into your life, into your relationships, into your, finances, your material world, and you're going to feel a sense of relief with that. And that's just what life is. But it's also not just acknowledging where you've been and where you are today. It's also just reminding us about the importance of being fair and having a just attitude and a just way of thinking and being in all circumstances. Because, difficult things do come up for us, and we don't always get to control the sticky situations that do occur. But just in case there are some sticky situations that come up this week, it's important to remember to stay within your integrity and your values and do what needs to be done. And sometimes it's not always what we want to do, but it's the right thing to do. So it's just reminding us that balance is always going to come out in the end. Justice is always going to come out, prevail in the end. So do your part, and you will benefit if you do your part of the equation. So I'm just going to draw on the advice from the book here. Okay, so it's just helping us to remember to consider our options and the law of cause and effect, that every time we say and do something, there's going to be a consequence to that, and just to be mindful of that. So yeah, striking a balance, moving between doing and being in our life. There's always going to be the pendulum swinging. So just being mindful of that. We always reap what we sow. So if things have felt tough and challenging in your relationships, there may have been plenty of things that you could have learned through those challenges. And it's not about wishing that we never have contrasts in our life. That's what life is about. But every time we do experience a challenge and a contrast, it's an opportunity for us to be open and to learn, to ask ourselves, what can we learn from those circumstances? The best kind of relationships that we can have is when we really aim for a mutual benefit, a win-win situation. So keep that in mind. When we try to stick to our guns or dig our heels in the sand about any issue in life, that causes an imbalance to occur. So no matter what area of our life we're talking about, always try to to strike that balance, to create a win-win situation and a mutual benefit for everyone. You know, as much as we want to put our 2 cents worth in, it's just as important that we let the other party feel that they're being heard and valued as well. You know, and that's how we build mutual respect. And that's so important in terms of long-term relationships, whether it be at home, personally, or in the workplace. So it really is about reminding us the importance of even exchanges, mutual gain between partners, colleagues, the importance of balance, justice, and, you know, how we behave in negotiations as well. So act with integrity and strike that balance for mutual benefit for everyone. And then we have the card round and round, and this is an interesting card. Sometimes when we're going through, you know, lots of change and transformation, we can feel like we're repeating old lessons. We've gone around the mountain several times. Oh my gosh, why am I experiencing this yet again? But in truth, you're not really, because whilst the same landscape of experiences seems to crop up, you know, it could be in a job, or it could be in your relationship where you go, oh my gosh, this is happening again. Why is this happening again? Think of it in terms of an opportunity to reintegrate a lesson that hasn't quite stuck yet. And it's not that you're starting again, it's just that you're building on what you have learned previously. So the best thing that you can do in this circumstance is to have a bird's eye view, a top-down perspective, and ask yourself, what can you do differently this time around? How can you respond differently? What can you see through a different lens this time? And that way you're going to reassure yourself to progress. So think of it in terms of going round the mountain. Yes, you may get the same view as you go around the mountain, but you're actually making progress as you reach to the top. So be assured you are progressing, but take the time to reevaluate your situation and reevaluate how you're responding to a situation. Why do you think the same circumstance keeps coming up? And it is because a lesson needs to be reintegrated, but you have the opportunity to do it better each time. So just keep that in mind. So we'll just check in to see if there's anything additional to add to that card. And then we will move on. Certainly you're not going backwards, so I just want to remind you of that. We are always evolving, and you know, we do ourselves an even better service when we take time to reflect. So in terms of your prosperity, it's also a really good time, if you feel like you're going around the mountain, to look at the deeper motives, your deeper motives and the motives of others in your life, and just sort of get some clarity around, you know, who you think is sabotaging you and who is supporting you, and what are the familiar signs that keep coming up every time you feel like you're going around the mountain. Just take a look at the patterns of the past. And if it's difficult for you to get some clarity around why you're repeating circumstances, get yourself a coach or a mentor, because an outside perspective sometimes can be really helpful if we're not getting the clarity ourselves. If we keep repeating something and we're not quite understanding why we are repeating the same situation. Good advice. Okay, so in my first time round of cutting the cards and laying them out, these are the cards that came out, and I apologise, I stuffed up my video. So we had protection, death and joy. So definitely for this week, I got a sense that, you know, you may be someone who wears your heart on your sleeve or very happy to share your opinion. But this week the guidance is it's best to keep your own counsel and to be discerning, because there's sort of certainly an air of people with hidden agendas. And for whatever reason, you may be a particular target this week. You know, sometimes when we're going through change, people don't like the fact that we are experiencing change for the better. And for whatever reason, you know, they may have their own agenda. So it certainly is a good opportunity to ask your spirit guides and the angels for protection and to really be a little bit more discerning about what you choose to share. So I'm going to get some guidance on this card to give us a little bit more information. So even if you are not realizing it, you could actually be the subject of inquiry for whatever reason. So yes, once again, you may not know what's going on and you may not know the reasons why people do things, and it's not really about that. It's really about using your intuition and always acting with integrity. And don't feel the need that you have to share everything, you know? You don't have to. So I'm just saying there's an air or some guidance around the need for you to protect yourself from people who have hidden agendas. And the next card that we have is the death card. And I like to reiterate, it's not necessarily about a physical death, but it certainly is about the end of a season or a chapter in your life. And it may have been quite a turbulent chapter that has affected you mentally and emotionally, but certainly there's a line in the sand, no repeat, no going back, finished. But when I say that, the emphasis is not just on finishing, it's actually more on birthing something new, regeneration. This card is about second chances, about the opportunity to do things better and to grow more into your soul power. And this is confirming new beginnings, that what was has been done, served, finished, no return. So it's opening up the way for a brand new start, and that is a welcome card, very much a welcome card. So as we look here, it says it's a time of transformation, a total change of attitude, and I think the attitude is probably even more of an attitude towards yourself and a recognition of your own skills and abilities and your own inner strength, inner power and soul power. You know, that sort of sense of sometimes when things are so done, you are ready to spring forward with so much more inner strength, inner wisdom and inner awareness, which leads to outer awareness. So definitely a chapter of your life or a cycle of your life that has come to a conclusion. So the advice is to have courage. Yes, it may feel unsettling when you're moving from one thing to another, and it's in a big way, but just know that you are being blessed with extraordinary new life and new opportunities. So I don't know if I mentioned it previously in the other video, but the Australian bush has an incredible way of regenerating itself. It can be absolutely incinerated and it can feel like there's no way that anything can come good of it. And then within just a matter of a couple of weeks, seedlings are sprouting. You know, that very, very harsh fire has germinated seeds in the bush, and this black bush suddenly becomes green again. Well, this is what's happening in your life. Things that feel like they've been burnt and done and dusted are actually going to be rebirthed in a far better way. And it's in a better way because you're having incredible clarity out of the challenges that you've experienced. And so it's leading towards joy, abundance. Wow, yes, big time. Big time. Beautiful energy. This is very green, okay? So this is definitely new growth, brand new growth, and a real enlightenment, light energy, and a real something really to look forward to because abundance is coming your way. Yeah, and this is really the similar message for the last couple of weeks, but I really feel that this is like crunch time. We're at the end of the month, And it's really like a line in the sand. This is it. This is crunch time. We've been leading up to this, and here it is. Here it is. So it is quite an intense time. So rightly, you're going to feel a little topsy-turvy, like you're going round and round in a washing machine. But take heart, because it's working its way to something amazing for you. This card is promising that where you felt thirsty, you're going to be watered. Where you felt cold, you're going to be given a blanket. You're going to be provided the nourishment where you have felt really drained of energy. So this is blessings coming to you. A spring sun after a gloomy winter. So this truly is a reason to feel joyous. Deck that I wanted to share and use, which we haven't done before, is the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. So let's, I've done a pre-shuffle, but we will bring 3 cards out to add to our already very interesting reading. Ooh. Let's see what comes out for us today. For this week, 29th of October through to the 4th of November, please. 3 cards, guidance for a week ahead. Thank you. Okay, we're getting there. 3 cards. There we go. 3 cards. Thank you. Okay. We have firm foundation as the first one. Beautiful. Wow. A real fiery, clear, very clear, strong energy with this one. So for this week, wow, all of this energy this week is this is super strong, real rebirth. Death is death, so completing and starting anew. The importance of establishing a firm foundation for the future. So as you're experiencing a rebirth, there's a real sense of inner power, inner clarity, inner strength that's coming to the fore in a way that you've perhaps not felt before. This is very empowering. And for the first time in a very long time, you're tapping into your inner wisdom, your inner strength, your inner voice. You're giving voice to what's important to you. And as you're doing that, you're recognizing and seeing for the first time in a long time your own strengths, abilities, skills, and wisdom. And this is helping you to feel very strong and firm and forthright. And it's going to help you to build foundations of your future for the next season in your life. And, you know, the image of the mountain in the background is indicating that you're going to be reaching new heights. The firm foundation that the mountain is you, not someone else. This is you. Really feeling strong in who you are, planting down firm roots and knowing with certainty who you are. So let's see what we get with this. Extra guidance, please, on this card. This card denotes that you've already or currently working toward establishing a solid foundation in the material world. Job, finances, home life. Using good judgment and heeding lessons from the past concerning financial matters will assist you in laying a firm groundwork. By doing so, security will have a better chance of building in the future. The material power that's now around you can either be an advantage or disadvantage depending on how you respond to it. Don't let your current position determine who you are. Remember to give back and prime the pump of prosperity. For true spiritual and material wealth is as much about giving as it is receiving. Seek proper investment advice and realize that you don't have to hold onto your possessions too tightly. Just be flexible and allow things to continue to flow. Beautiful. So this is followed by number 5, obstacles and challenges. Things are coming up for you, perhaps some unexpected things, and I'm going to perhaps you may feel a little bit challenged spiritually or tested spiritually. And that as you may feel tested, maybe by some people or some situations that may question your integrity or your values, it's less about them and more about your response to the situation and how you choose to face the challenge. So keep an open mind and focus on the bigger picture. Don't get caught up in the detail or any dramas, and just pause, discern, ask for protection from those that have hidden agendas, and stay true to you. This is a spiritual test. Test of character, test of integrity, test of your values, a spiritual test. So, you've got it. This is just a red flag. It's not an indication that anything's going to go wrong, but rather a test of how you respond to some tricky situations. So, if you give yourself the opportunity to pause and stand back, you'll get some clarity. And it won't appear to be as difficult as you think it is. It's not really. And you just need to be careful with your decisions, careful with what you say, and just keep moving forward in the right direction, in the positive direction, being mindful of the bigger picture and your purpose. Be strong in who you are and don't doubt who you are. It's not about feeling shaken or a victim. You've got this. We all experience obstacles and challenges and, uncomfortable situations, but it doesn't have to stop you. It's just a test. So sometimes these sort of tests happen when someone's competing with us. It can happen in your personal or your business life. But rather than respond to the energy that's being pushed your way, Just pause a moment and step back. You don't need to take on another person's energy. Be discerning in what you say in response and think about the best outcome. And it might just take your patience and your integrity to have a good response. So just remember that. If someone's testing you, just pause, maybe keep your own counsel, and certainly ask for protection and guidance. You know, sometimes people have just got a point to make or an agenda that they want to fulfill, and just be mindful of that. Often it's not about you and your energy, but sometimes it just is a good idea to be mindful of what's your stuff and what isn't your stuff to deal with. And then we're moving on to, this is interesting, emotional withdrawal, a time of reflection. This is very much about your energy and your spiritual and emotional reflection. Water always represents our emotions. And this person here is looking for time out to meditate, to reflect on how he's feeling and what's important to him. There's very calm and healing energy here. It's not sadness. It's not negative. It's time out. Regenerate, nourish, nurture, time with self. And sometimes it's needed when a lot is going on. You know, this can be an exhausting time when we're going through such regeneration and rebirth. Strong stuff. It's challenging to deal with these massive changes. You know, in the moment it can feel like, oh my God, we're doing it all over again. But truly you're not. Take heart. You are actually making progress. And it is going to have an amazing outcome. And I think this week it is a little bit of a test, but be patient. Trust in yourself. Give yourself time to have clarity to build that strong foundation. You've got it in you. This is actually an awesome reading. You're being supported. And this is beautiful advice to you. We can have incredible clarity about the way forward when we go to that place of calm. We still our mind, still our body, and things become clear. I really do feel the sense that it's not about making rash decisions or jumping in for fear of missing out or saying something too impulsively. When we're going through such change, it stirs the pot. It stirs the pot not just in ourselves but in other people. So it's important to stay true to you, have integrity in all that you do, be discerning in what you say and do. Pause, and really think about the best course of action. And, you know, so often in the moment when things feel heated or our buttons are pressed or, you know, there's an unsettling energy, if we've given ourselves time to calm down and reflect, oh boy, don't we end up changing our position, changing our mind or our tactic. And that's a good thing. It can save our bacon sometimes by just taking time out to reflect and to calm down so that we get that clarity. So I'm going to just, look up that card, if I can find it here. So 107 in the book here. La 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 la. Here we go. So withdrawing from a current situation, the card refers to perhaps withdrawing from an old love or relationship. Also about being careful not to get caught up in the materialistic world, the outside world. Very much about pause, reflect and heal. And, the importance of scheduling some time to be with yourself. The number 8 represents infinity. It also represents our passion, our inner power, our soul power. This is very much a time for you, an opportunity for you to tap into your heart and soul, to find your courage and strength to continue your journey. So there we have the crux of our message for this week. And to top it off, I'm going to use these beautiful flower therapy cards by Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves to get a feel for the energy this week. These are beautiful cards. Let's bring something out for us to top off this reading. Okay. Here we go. A sign from heaven. The protea. Your loved ones in spirit are waving hello and giving you reassurance that you will be all right. So whatever turbulence or unsettling feelings or change that you're embracing with this rebirth energy, please feel reassured that everything is going to be fine. Your loved ones in spirit are giving you that reassurance. They are with you, supporting you, loving you. All will be well. So that's it for this week's reading, everybody. I hope you find that useful. Go well. Stay in tune with yourself. Be discerning. Trust in your intuition. And give yourself the time out to reflect that you need. It's all going in a good direction. Bless you all. Have a wonderful week. Please like or subscribe to this video. And I hope to see you next Sunday. Bye for now.